Have you ever walked into a room and felt like a stranger in a world that was supposed to be yours? Like you were the only soul that didn't get the script everyone else seemed to memorize? You smile when they smile, nod when they speak, but deep down, there's this strange silence, like you're watching the world from behind a glass wall. Why? Why do you feel like an outcast? You're not broken. You're not crazy. And no, you're not alone. Friedrich Nietzsche understood this ache, not as a philosopher seated in an ivory tower, but as a man who lived the sting of being misunderstood, excluded, and deeply alone. Now ask yourself, when was the first time you felt different? Maybe it wasn't a specific moment. Maybe it's been a slow burn, a whisper that followed you through childhood, school, adulthood, saying, "You don't belong here." Nietzsche heard it too, and he didn't run from it. He faced it. He didn't try to fix the world to suit him. He looked inward. And that's where your journey begins, because this is not a curse. It's a calling. Let me take you deeper. Nietzsche once wrote, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe." Think about that for a second. The tribe, society, culture, family, they all come with a script. Expectations, roles, smiles, polite lies, and the moment you stop fitting neatly into their boxes, you become the strange one, the problem, the outcast. But what if being an outcast is not the problem, but the beginning of awakening? Nietzsche saw the outcast not as someone who failed the world, but someone who began to see it too clearly. He called these people the free spirits, the ones who dared to ask, "Is this all there is?" You see, most people live lives wrapped in comfort and routine. They don't ask hard questions because the answers might demand change. But you started noticing the cracks, the fakeness, the masks. And once you see the mask, you can never unsee it. And suddenly, your laughter feels hollow. Your relationships feel forced. The world becomes too loud, too shallow, too fake. That's not madness, that's vision. Nietzsche believed that this discomfort is the soul shedding its old skin, that alienation is a symptom of transformation. He wrote, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. But first, you have to find your why. And that journey, it begins in solitude. Yes, it's going to get lonely, but solitude is not the same as isolation. The crowd isolates you from yourself, but solitude brings you back. When you're alone, really alone, the voices stop. The expectations fall away. And for the first time you hear something faint but undeniable, your own voice. Nietzsche called this the path of self-overcoming. Not to become someone else, but to become who you truly are beneath the noise. And here's the hard truth. That journey will make others uncomfortable. They will call you arrogant, selfish, difficult. Because when you stop needing their approval, you take away their power. And suddenly they don't know who you are anymore. But for the first time, you do. You begin to protect your time. You start asking better questions. You don't jump to respond. You don't force yourself to smile. You speak less. But when you do, it hits different. And they feel it. Nietzsche said you must become who you are. It sounds simple, but it requires courage most people will never muster. Because to become who you are, you must kill the version of yourself built for their comfort. And that version, it dies hard. Now, let me ask you, who do you serve when you silence your truth to belong? Who benefits when you shrink to fit their boxes? Because here's what they won't tell you. Being different isn't the problem. Being fake is. And your tired of faking it, aren't you? That's why you feel like an outcast. Because you're not meant to fit in. You're meant to see through. Nietzsche knew that the greatest prison is comfort. It keeps you tame, predictable, and dead inside. But when you finally step out of that cage, something awakens in you. Not rage, not rebellion, but a calm clarity. You begin to live by your own values. You begin to say no without guilt, without explanation. And that, my friend, is when the world starts to notice. They may not understand you, but they will feel something shift. Because true power is not loud. It's not aggressive. It's not about proving anything. It's silent, still, grounded, and rare. Let me tell you something Nietzsche understood with painful clarity. You will lose people on this path, but you will gain yourself. You will be misunderstood, but you will finally speak truth. You will walk alone, but never again will you feel lost. Because you are not here to perform, you are here to become. And the fire inside you, that's not confusion, that's your soul remembering who it is. Now I ask you, how long will you keep pretending to be someone they like, when you don't even like who you become? How many more smiles will you fake? How much longer will you apologize for simply being different? Maybe it's time to stop apologizing and start becoming. Because when you embrace that you don't fit in, something strange happens. You stop needing the world, and the world starts chasing your silence. If this message is hitting something deep in you, don't scroll past it. Click that like button, subscribe, join this growing movement of those who dare to feel, to think, to question, and in the comments, write the words, I choose to become. Let's see how many outcasts are ready to stop hiding. But stay with me, because